I am going to go to bat for this book. Just so both of you know, I am definitely going to defend this book.
What, Paul? What, you're going to sit the ground running on this bad garbage book that you're defending it?
This book was so good. It changed my life.
What's happening? Okay, hold on.
Okay, we just met, but I'm picking up your sarcasm already. I'm feeling it.
Yo, I'm just saying that there are like, let's be honest, there are certain phrases in novels that really they're useful for foreshadowing and not much else.
Okay.
There's one in particular, like on the second page. Here we go. She's talking about her Aunt Greta.
Yeah.
She is tall and skinny and kind of pretty with a delicate round face and big, sad, dark eyes. I don't look at all like my aunt. I don't know who I look like. I don't remember my mom that well, and I never knew my father. Aunt Greta told me he disappeared soon after I was born. And you know what? I read those sentences, and I was like, yo mama fucked a snowman. And was I wrong?
No! You were 100% on point with that. She banged a snowman.
I know!
Yeah, I guess so. She Jack Frosted a snowman, right? She okay.
She had icicles dripping from the chin. You know what's up.
Oh, TK.
What?
Oh.
TK's in it.
Icicles.
TK's in the pipe.
Yeah, TK's in the pipe, 5 by 5. Well, this is the fastest we've ever been on topic.
We went
for a
right into the
episode.
book. Well, I mean, this is a contentious novel that we read. So
yes! She fucked a snowman. I was like, your dad's a snowman. Your mama fucked a snowman. I'm like clapping and holding this e-reader. My husband's looking at me from the other side of the house. He's just like, what is happening? I was like, you don't need to know.
It awoke something in me.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm working, baby.
By the way, we should introduce.
Yeah.
We should introduce. But if this is your first time listening, welcome to Goosebuds, the podcast where we cover YA novels like Goosebumps. Welcome. I'm Chad Quant. With me is my co-host and great friend, Paul Ritchie. Hello.
Hi.
Regular host Dom fell into the shadow realm
in the shadow
once
realm,
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just trying to find something in his closet. He was trying to put on some shoes to go for a nice run, and next thing you know, he was in the shadow realm.
I heard he met a nice snowman in there.
Yeah, but can you ever really not to be too judgmental? Can you ever trust someone in the shadow realm?
That's true.
Right?
It is the shadow realm.
It is the shadow realm. So, wonderfully lucky we are to have a guest subbing in for Dom is the amazing TK, aka TK Johnson. Is that a fair name to give you?
Yeah, TK Johnson. I would say one of the most fair names. Practically my legal name.
Fair by law.
So close.
TK, welcome.
Thank you for joining us.
It's me.
TK.
It's TK.
TK, would you like to tell a little bit about yourself, just for our listeners?
I'm TK. I'm 33 years old. I love spooky stories. My first chapter book was one of the Goosebump books. Don't know what number it was, but there were some dead kids in it. That's nice. It was a ghost.
That whittles it down to about like 20 books.
Yeah.
Total.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the book was like in the double digits.
Okay.
But
do you remember the cover at all?
The cover was like a deep dark blue, and there was a dead tree on it and like a rocky outcropping, like maybe a lake or something like that. And it's definitely a night scene, but I don't remember if there's any characters on the cover. I don't think so. I will say that like the twist is that the 3 siblings find their own gravestones.
Ghost Beach.
Is that Ghost Beach?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Ghost Beach. Yeah, that was my first chapter book.
Come on down to Ghost Beach.
Man, that's what got me like the pizza party for Accelerated Reader. That's what's up.
Yeah, you get that that Pizza Hut, the Pizza Hut
the
stickers.
Hut Reads,
yeah,
Hut Reads rewards. Yeah, I was like, heck yeah. I read that book like 3 times. Took all the different tests on. I was like, give me that pizza.
I ate a lifetime's worth of pan pizzas because of that reading program.
Oh, for sure.
Of course. I think all of the YA novels of the 90s had Pizza Hut grease just kind of like caked into the page corners sort of thing.
If you were a true friend, you left like a little pizza grease thumbprint on the pages that had to do with the test questions.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh shit. That is a sinister underbelly of test cheating.
Cheat.
TK, you're like a bad kid nerd. I love it.
ABC, always be cheating.
You know, I would probably been a staunch opponent of yours cheating on the Pizza Hut test as a kid, but now I'm totally about it. Burn it all down. Man, you know what? Get that free pizza.
Yeah, when I was a kid, and I tell this story a lot, so I'm sorry for your listeners if they've heard it before, but I memorized all the accelerated reader tests for the boxcar children.
Whoa.
So I would be like, I would go in, and I wouldn't even have read the book, but I did it every year just so I'd have 100% on my accelerated reader test, which you had to take like 25 tests or something like that to get like the perfect score for it. And so I'd go and I'd be like, I don't know what the question is. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what this book was about, but I do know A, B, C, C, B, A, D, C, C.
Was it the same pattern every time?
It sure was. You know why? Because they don't expect 8-year-olds to cheat.
Oh my god, that's incredible.
God.
Yeah, for sure.
I wasted all that time reading those books for real. God damn it.
I know. I can't tell you a single damn thing about boxcar children, but, you know.
I just want to put a Scantron sheet down in front of you and watch you just like burst out. Like, there. That's boxcar number 25 right there.
Yeah. A scientist just looks over and goes, my God, she's right.
It's true. I am right.
This is all correct.
I do want to say I just came up with a conspiracy theory, and I do believe that Pizza Hut had money behind the Goosebumps franchise, and that the reading program was a way for them to sell more pizzas and more Goosebumps books. I'm going to say that now.
Oh, for sure. But who didn't walk into like a Scholastic bookstore like book fair with like $5 burning a hole in their pocket and be like, I'm a god.
I am gonna walk out with the 4 scariest Goosebumps books that are in
my kingdom.
I was gonna maximize that $5. If I got like $4.85, you know there's a 10-cent like eraser down there at the
eraser bookmark.
Yeah, Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah,
Tootsie Rolls for 5 cents. You're like, hell yeah, I'm getting 3 of those little motherfuckers.
I'm getting sugared up and I'm getting scared later.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's speaking of getting scared, we read a super scary book, I guess, that you two found thrilling.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this one starts with a dead mom. That's very scary. That's incredibly scary, and I think it might be the first one. I think it might be the first one that had a dead mom in it, or a dead parent in general.
It is more stakes than normal.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, like I would say this starts slow. It starts faster than most of the books.
I don't know. I feel like for a lot of the books I read, like Werewolf in Fever Swamp, there are several books that start out with like, you have to go live with this relative now or whatever.
They definitely put the kids. There's a lot of bad parenting going on in the Goosebumps series.
Oh, for sure.
They're pawning those kids off on any aunt, uncle, random grandparent that lives in a swamp. They're doing that all the time.
Yeah.
It's just a stray neighbor with like free time. You want to take these kids? Sure.
It's like, how do you let your kids get into almost puberty, like on the brink, on the cusp even, and never mention to them that you're actually monsters who eat monsters? Like that never comes up. They don't have like a third belly button or something like that, where they're just like,
yeah, there's got to be some tell. Yeah.
Like,
TK,
okay.
Before we dive too far into this one, I'm getting the sense that you are a bump head.
That's a compliment, by the way, not an insult to be a bump head.
Like you're like, I'm into Goosebumps. I'm a bump head. I go crazy.
I was super into Goosebumps. Most of the classics, but I there's so fucking many of them. And then they renumbered a bunch of them because of the show. They were like, okay, whatever ones got made into the show, those are our classics. I was like, really? That's what's okay.
I always assumed that they said they were classics. TK, I think you're right that they said that, but I think they picked the ones that they were like, which ones don't need any effects for us to do, so that we can
for sure.
What can we shoot in the backwoods of Canada? What can we pull off?
It's like, which one is going to look good on a t-shirt? Is Slappy overrated? Yes.
Yeah. That's where it really was. Oh, and we're totally on board with that. Curly is who we like. We like Curly on this show.
Is Curly the other dummy?
Curly's the cool skeleton.
Curly's the cool mascot skeleton who didn't actually have a book, I guess, at any point.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, we hype up Curly on here. We put Curly over. We put Curly over.
That's cool. I didn't know that was his name. I knew that there was like a skeleton mascot, but I never knew that there was like that he had a name. That's really interesting. I mostly read the books like in like 3rd and 4th grade, and then I kind of like quote unquote graduated to the show in 5th grade. And then when I was a middle schooler, my dad was like, "I'm not getting you these books anymore," so I started reading like Fear Street.
Oh, so you upgraded to the Fear Street. Okay.
Yeah, my dad was pretty much like, "Look, you don't have Scholastic Book Fair anymore, and like you need more chapter books."
Yeah.
So he let me read Fear Street for like 6th grade. 7th and 8th grade, I got to read like Christopher Pike. And then he was like, "Here you go, Anne Rice." And I was like, "Really? You want me to ruin my entire life with this? Okay, I guess that's fine."
That turned you into the dark sorceress you are today.
He was like, Are you ready? Let's do Stephen King." And I was like, "Which Stephen King book?" And he was like, "The Stand."
Oh, damn.
Really?
Why? I was like,
wow, what a cool parent.
Is he? Really? Because it's like 800 pages. That's a long ass book. And I have to take that shit to school.
That's heavy. That's a lot of lugging you got to do when you got to.
If you read The Stand, you get an entire Pizza Hut. Like you own that.
You have a franchise.
Yeah, you get a franchise.
Yeah.
Franchise.
That's why all the Pizza Huts went out of business. Is because all these kids inherited the restaurants from reading The Stand or big books.
Yeah.
Too much responsibility too early.
I didn't read that shit either. I watched the movie and then I looked at the Wikipedia page when I grew up so I could still have conversations with my dad about it. And I'm gonna be straight with you right now. I ain't read this fucking book either. I'm sitting here with a fucking goosebumps.fandom.com wiki open.
I appreciate your honesty, and I think that's valid. You have proven your knowledge of the lore of the Goose.
TK,
I got like 4 chapters in, and I was like, I don't know.
DK, if you've proven anything to us in the early moments of this podcast, it's that you're very good at cheating. So I think
good.
I think you'll do fine.
But I'm bad at lying. That's my downfall.
I appreciate it. Well, we'll help fill in the gaps of this story that might be missing from the wiki, which I don't think there's really that many details missing.
No. There's really not. First of all, it's a very comprehensive wiki.
Oh yeah.
Maybe fewer ellipses.
Yeah, always.
Oh, you have a note on the wiki? Yeah.
I should put a note in here like more ellipses, please. It's just like there are like, I started to take notes on this book, and there were like some things where she's like, there's a snowman with a scar across the street. My boots crunched loudly as I stepped up to the snowman and examined it carefully. Fucking why?
It's just a goddamn snowman.
Why though? Your ass is from Chicago.
She knows winter. She lives in Chicago.
Why would you ever?
Yeah.
Why would you ever? Stop.
All the time, mailmen are getting like turned into snowmen on just random corners of Chicago, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, you step outside in January in Chicago and you turn into a damn snowman instantly.
Plus, like, I'm just saying, I don't know how it was for y'all growing up, but like, don't walk into people's yards.
No, also that you don't mess with someone's snowman.
Like when you're an 8-year-old kid or something, it's kind of like okay, but she kind of comes off as like a 12-year-old, maybe 12 to 14. So it's like, you old enough, like, get out of that yard.
You know private property.
Stop fucking around.
Since we're on the subject of punctuation, I do want to bring up I had a little bit of an issue with the Beware, the snowman. Because does that mean that the snowman's name is Beware? Like what's the comma doing there?
Oh.
Are you talking to the snowman?
Yeah, I thought that was actually intentionally. I thought that was a misdirect. So the opening poem of this that they say over and over again, for those not with the wiki, is when the snows blow wild and the days grows old. Beware the snowman, my child. Beware the snowman, he brings the cold. And so I was like, Oh, it is a poem for the snowman. That's the twist. We are the bad guys. No, that's not what the end of this book is at all.
No.
I totally thought that was an intentional misdirect on the bad grammar.
I didn't notice the commas at all, which is, I probably should have, but I sure didn't.
I was reading into, I spent like a whole 5 minutes just deep diving into beware the snowman, my child, as in this is written from the mother of the snowman.
Okay. I like that. I like that interpretation.
That makes way more sense, and it's only more proof that somebody fucked a snowman.
Beware the snowman because he got a big old dick. That's what the rest of that poem was.
It's huge.
He can make it any size he wants. He just fashions a dick whenever he needs one.
It's amazing. No, what I focused on was what's he bringing the cold for? He's a fucking snowman. Shouldn't it already be cold? But,
yeah.
Come on. There should already be snow.
Yeah, I think we got a Game of Thrones situation here where he's...
Yeah, this is absurd.
He's bringing some dark cold.
People fucking snowmans, cold-ass snowmans.
So, well, let's set the ground for
set
this
the table.
a little bit,
set
right?
the table, yeah.
Set the table is... Jacqueline, I believe is her name, who knows this poem.
I should have figured that out too, because Jack Frost, I get it.
Oh, fuck!
Oh, I didn't. Oh.
Shut the podcast down. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
Well, there's a less clever name that I wanted to talk to you about in this very beginning, than Jacqueline from Chicago.
Yeah.
Who was the star basketball player on her girls' team. And she talks about how her friends are probably all going to see a Bulls game. And I was like, yes, I relate to this.
Yeah.
I relate to this.
Her Aunt Greta, who obviously does not love Jacqueline, Jacqueline loves basketball. She was living in Chicago during the Jordan era of the Bulls, and she made her move away. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Let's take you away from the cultural mecca of your sport right now to a town in a unknown country called Sherpia. Now, is there any chance that name is just Sherpa with an I?
It feels racist.
Yeah.
It feels I don't know, buddy. Also, I do want to say while we're on the subject of names that Aunt Greta was a missed opportunity for her to be Gerda, which would be a callback to the main character from the Snow Queen.
Wait, you said the Snow Queen, you mean the original classic
Gerda
fable.
and Kai. Gerda and Kai were the
I don't know their names.
That's some deep lore right there.
This is why we have you on, TK, because you got this deep lore.
It's me, professional writer TK. Minor in folklore and religious studies. Didn't finish college. Read too many books.
You are perfect for this podcast.
You sound like a writer to me.
Thank you.
So yeah, Sherpia, I just wanted to ask you guys, Jacqueline at one point calls it the edge of the Arctic Circle, but it's never specified.
I figured out where it is. It's Canada.
Yeah,
it's Canada.
You think
she does say, why did we have to move? I'm reading passages from the book right now. Why do we have to move from the United States? So we know she's not in America.
But then everyone's names are just basic American names.
American names. Well, that's why I'm thinking.
I'm Eli Johnson, or not. Sorry, not to use that's a bad example. That's your last name.
Yeah.
I'm Jeffrey Katzenberg. Wait, I can't use that example either. Shit.
Eli Johnson, and then his sister's name is Rolanda, and I was like. Yeah? It doesn't make sense to me. I think one of the big things that doesn't make sense to me about it is that all of the houses have flat roofs.
Wait, did they say that?
That are covered with snow. Yeah. They constantly say it, that all the houses have they're just square houses with flat roofs. And I was like, why?
This is not an Arctic town.
They have some crazy engineering going on there if those can survive.
Yeah, because that doesn't make
snow.
Any sense. The weight of the snow would bust through the roof. That's why they all have the high peaked houses.
The chalet.
I couldn't tell this entire time if it was what's the technological level of this village? Is it all log cabins, or is this just Nebraska? I can't tell.
Yeah, I don't know. They said hardwood floors, and that the houses look like gingerbread houses, and I was like, what does that mean? Here, I am looking one. A small gray stone building. Who the fuck makes a gray gingerbread house?
Who lives in stone in the middle of the Arctic Circle?
That makes no sense. What is happening?
What is this place? Sherpia? is fucked up, and but it's in Canada. Sure. It's in Canada. Figured it out because
it's probably Canada.
Because the only other countries that are there: Russia, Greenland, Canada, America. She said she left America, and everybody's speaking English, so it's pretty much gotta be Canada, right?
Could be Norway with a name like Greta, like a Scandinavian.
Oh, that's true.
Country.
That's true. Maybe it is
Again,
Greenland.
I was very confused by it, but also I think this detail is important because the beginning, I'd say, 10 chapters of this book is we've moved to this new town. I'm suddenly thinking about an old nursery rhyme I heard. I can't tell you why I know it. Mm-hmm. And like I think you said, TK, yes, it's very quickly hit the I never knew my parents. Mm-hmm. But Aunt Greta's moved me out here.
'Cause my mom fucked a snowman.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason for why they're moving. Usually in like the Goosebump books, it's like dad got a new job or he's out here on a study. Jacqueline is starting this book completely in the dark of why she just moved across the country.
Did you guys also make up a reason why she moved there? Because I made up a reason why she moved there.
No, but now I did. What did you have?
Mine was, I think that Aunt Greta was gambling. She thought that Jordan was over his peak and wasn't going to be able to get another championship. And she was putting all her money down on it. And she got herself into some deep arrears and was like, we got to get out of here. We got to go to another country.
Okay.
That's what I think.
All right, I like
That's
that.
what I think.
How about here's my side theory. Mm-hmm. Jacqueline is the daughter of, what was the name? I'm trying to do this reference. I can't remember the name. Steve Ballman or whatever. The guy who like dropped the ball and Chicago lost their fucking minds.
Oh, Bartman.
Bartman, yeah. Ballman. Jesus, if his name was Ballman, that would have been too on the nose. Jacqueline is the daughter of Steve Bartman, who was blamed for costing the Cubs a World Series, even though it wasn't his fault.
Okay.
We're totally not gonna. That wasn't gonna matter.
Mm-hmm.
And his family had to flee Chicago because Chicago people are fucking nuts about sports,
especially the Cubbies.
Especially the Cubbies.
So y'all's are like really grounded in reality. My thoughts kind of they went along the like old Goosebumps thing where it's like, oh, we moved because you're a snowman and I you needed to transform in peace where you'd be safe from society, because that's like almost all the Goosebump books.
She's
where they
on
move.
the cusp of puberty and she's about to become the snow woman.
Oh, you're about to become a snow woman.
You're a snowman.
Oh my god, that would have made all the stuff where she finds like puddles in the cabin and she doesn't know why.
Oh my god!
That would have been a metaphor for her like puberty, like she's melting and she doesn't realize. Oh my god.
Exactly. And her auntie, instead of giving her first training bra, she answered just like a handful of coal for new buttons. She's like, you're a woman now, and like delicately hands her a corncob pipe.
That's such a better book than what we read.
I know, I'm ready to hang it up again because my mind is blown that is way better than what we got.
That's way better. I mean, yeah, we mostly spend the first part of this book Greta exploring this Arctic cold, which I was impressed that this girl, a teenager, was just like willing to just walk around in the freezing tundra and not stay in and watch cartoons all day. So
and I gotta say that this book, most of these books do stall for time, like you said, Chad. But I felt like this one at least was giving us, there were some nice little, kind of bucolic walks and jaunts through this little town, which was kind of nice to read about. It was a nice change from the normal, boring American suburbia that we get from Goosebumps.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Sure,
for sure.
That's true. You can sell a good ice horror in this for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are the big scares? She swears she sees a snowman staring at her. It turns out it was one that was
90% of the big scares are someone running up behind her that she doesn't know.
Yeah. There's like one where she's like, I felt icy fingers around my neck. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I know that every chapter is going to be a mini cliffhanger that doesn't pay off and doesn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. But I would whoop the shit out of any little boy who came up to me and put their fucking fingers on my neck.
He doesn't know who she is and he grabbed her neck? That's fucked up.
I don't know who the fuck you are.
That's
He's like, haha, did I scare you? Fuck you.
And then his sister says he's a total creep and he says, thanks for the compliment? What the fuck is that all about?
Yeah, I had that same response to like, no, not okay. You guys are not my new friends.
No, I'm not hanging out with the self-professed creep. Okay.
Plus, I guess like the siblings didn't really like. I was a little annoyed because I felt like there was no payoff for the siblings because in every fucking Goosebump thing, I'm like, nope, pair of siblings in a new town. Nope, you got to get the fuck out of here. Like, they're snowmen or something. Like, there's something going. They're Santa's elves. I don't give a fuck what they are. They're reindeer.
Something.
Who cares?
Yeah.
They're evil.
It's
like, plus they live in a White House in the middle of like the fucking Arctic Circle, which doesn't make any sense because number one, it's gonna be hard to pressure wash. It's gonna be dirty all the time because white collects dirt on houses.
And we know what dirty snow looks like after 3 days.
It looks like trash.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, if you're that close to the Arctic, why you want a white ass house so you can like help out with the snow blindness during the midnight sun months? Why would you want that?
Yeah, how
This is a very a low property value town. I would say the Sherpia.
For sure.
I don't know what its economy is. I don't know what it was based around. It has a church, I think, and not a school.
Yeah.
I think in terms of how it works.
Offshore millionaires are not buying investment properties in Sherpia. That's for sure.
No, unless there's like an oil rig or something nearby,
yes.
which could explain. Never mind. I was like, I'm like, why else would sorcerers go to this little town to do their research? Perhaps there's some kind of magical ley lines that you can only get in a place like this because it doesn't make any sense otherwise.
You're thinking like a good writer and a DM about why
it's so fucking cold.
Let's get to the sorcerers. You're right. Let's just jump to them sorcerers.
Well, because ultimately what we should talk about. Ultimately, what she does is walks around the town, explores stuff. Although I will say, the snowmen were kind of stupid, but they gave me this kind of like folk horror vibe that I was kind of getting a little like a Wicker Man vibe going with this one.
Sure,
yeah,
sure,
which was kind of cool. But yes, she mostly walks around. She does. Before we dive into the sorcerer thing, we should talk about the what's his name, the dude that she meets, Conrad.
Oh, Conrad.
Conrad.
Yeah. And
his wolf.
Wolfsbane, which I thought was a very Chad name.
But it's not even Wolfsbane, it's Wolfbane, so it's just like singular wolf.
Yeah.
Only a singular bane, please. I wouldn't want more than
only
one.
one wolf is scared of this other wolf.
Yeah, it's like naming your dog like antifreeze or something. I mean, why would you name your wolf something that can, first of all, kill the shit out of it?
Yes.
I think that like names like Nanook are like really like classic 90s huskier wolf names.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But then I'm like thinking about it and I'm like, oh, that's like weird because they're trying to incorporate like Inuit culture into something that has no Inuit culture whatsoever and will not even include Inuits themselves.
Right.
And so it's like, no.
Yeah, that's some appropriation.
I just thought he just really liked the X-Men New Mutants and was really into, like giving a shout out to Ron Sinclair.
Yeah.
Or Rain Sinclair.
Yeah. Arya Stark's actress, what's her name?
Oh, Maisie Williams.
Maisie Williams.
Maisie Williams,
thank you. Yeah, she was supposed to play her, which I always find very adoring. She's a very charming actress, so
she is.
Yeah, and Wolfsbane's a great character. And Conrad was just like, I love this character, and my other dog, North Star, is not here right now, so it's just gonna be Wolfsbane.
TK, to your point, I did want to talk about how I was getting like kind of like shocked by some of the stuff that Jacqueline was doing because she was getting like current day, I'll do whatever the fuck I want American vibes going on.
Yeah, she was like, time for me to break into a person's house. Yeah. I was like, what?
I was like, hold on, we're not allowed to just do this stuff. She was and she says at some point, I can go anywhere I want. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I can go wherever I want. And I'm like, you can't though.
This is not a place that has open screen doors that you can just walk into as if it's a patio.
Mm-hmm. And neither is Chicago. Where did she learn this?
Yeah, it's not like she learned that in Chicago.
No, but maybe if she grew up in like New York or like Philly or some sort of East Coast city, maybe the Midwest
or even
niceness.
The South or something, which would make more sense because of like maybe her snowman ability wasn't being brought on because of the heat of the Deep South.
Her proximity to the equator was too. Yes.
We brought you to the cold to awaken it.
Nobody's friendly up here. It's almost as though everybody's like cold and frigid, just like our environment. We're all kept at arm's length with our little stick arms, figuratively and physically.
You're writing so much more subtext into this book, and I love it.
I'm having a great time. Rolanda. God,
Rolanda. Well, so Rolanda, we have there's Rolanda and Eli.
Mhm.
There's Conrad, with like in a cabin up in the mountain that is with Wolfbane, and Aunt Greta. Both described to have like old history, like white hair, and that Greta used to live here. And maybe her mom did, but they didn't really say until later. But most of this book, I agree with you, Paul. Like, it's very good suspense, much more than just kids wandering.
Chad, please don't put those words into my mouth.
Well, maybe not good. It's setting a picture, a tone of like worry about what's up the mountain.
Sure.
Which is working better than most of the books, which is just like, well, then we just decided to go get some bubble gum, and a dog jumped out at me, and the dog wanted to eat my bubble gum, like or whatever the surprises are of the midway point of these books.
At least, Jacqueline is being active in this book. I appreciated the fact that she doesn't return to the same locations too often, which is a big problem with the Goosebumps books. You know, there's a lot of stuff that it like kind of avoids, but I will agree. Nothing happens through the first like 3/4 of this book, but then it goes off the fucking rails.
Yeah, I will appreciate that she's a very active, aggressive character, and that she makes things happen. Things don't just happen to her.
Yes,
which I appreciate.
Yes, I agree.
Too bad it's in this book. Jacqueline, you could have been a star.
I was curious how it was working for you in that, I was enjoying her kind of agency in terms of taking it into her own hands. I did the same way you were asking earlier, TK. I was like, but why do you care? It was kind of like why do you want to see what's on the mountain so bad? Multiple people have said, there's a snowman, don't worry about it. I mean, nothing, don't go up there. I guess it's just pure curiosity, which can work as a motivation.
But I would say American exceptionalism is the problem here.
Oh, for sure. But it's also kind of like, a snowman? You really want to...
You really care?
Go up there for a fucking snowman?
There's fucking snowmen everywhere.
This could have been anything. This could have been like, was there already a Yeti book? Like...
Yeah, like there's so many good snow monsters.
A snowman?
It could be scary. I mean,
the cover of Snowman's kind of scary, right?
Yeah, like if he like, tried to kill you, it'd be a bummer. Like, you wouldn't like that. I mean, here's my thought with
it'd be a bummer.
Why. Yeah, it'd be a real blow. Like, in my mind, rereading this and seeing that cover, I realized that in my head that I was combining. Do you ever like combine two pieces of media that have nothing to do with each other just because there was in your brain, like at a certain time in your life? To me, this book with the snowman with the red scarf and that big frown was the same story as that classic Campbell's soup commercial where a kid comes in from the snow.
Oh yeah, and he's a snowman.
And he's a snowman and he melts. I always thought that snowman coming in was fucking horrifying. Like I thought that thing was a real scary kid, that guy in that commercial. And I'm like, yeah, I can see this thing being scary in real life.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I have never, ever found snowmen scary whatsoever until my adulthood, when I saw that one episode of The Office where Dwight and Jim are having like the snowball fight, and then Dwight makes like 50 fucking snowmen in the parking lot.
I don't remember that.
He
so like
Calvin's him.
Yeah, so basically there's like one episode where they're like fighting each other and stuff, and it's one of the few episodes where there's like a clear Dwight has the upper hand on Jim. And they go out to have like a snowball fight out in the parking lot, and Jim goes out, and there's just one snowman in the parking lot, and there's no Dwight. And he's like looking around, he's like, where the fuck is Dwight? And Dwight comes out of the fucking snowman and like pelts him with all these fucking snowballs. Some of them have rocks in them. He's like bleeding.
Sure. I love this version of The Office where Jim just gets murdered by Dwight in the parking lot.
Yeah. And so at the end of the episode, he goes out at the end of the episode, he's going out, and it's like during like the outro stuff, they get outside, and Jim and Pam, and it's while they're married, I think. And Jim and Pam come out to the parking lot, and there's like 50 fucking snowmen.
Dude.
And he's just like using an umbrella, he's like slamming into snowmen, he's like fighting them and shit, and he's like trying to corral her towards the car. He's like, run, just run. And like Dwight is laughing and watching from the roof of the building.
All right, that's creepy.
But like that idea of like going out and there's like 50 fucking snowmen and one of them could have a serial killer in them or something.
That's pretty good. I mean,
that's scary. Yeah.
I mean, we all know how scary that movie poster was. That was like, Mr. Policeman, I gave you all the clues. Whatever that murder mystery of the snowman was. That was. You guys remember that?
No, I don't remember that. Please let me know.
There's like a movie that bombed last year with Michael Fassbender that like was a detective movie called The Snowman, and just
the Snowman. Michael Fassbender. Let it show on the record for this podcast that I am Googling Michael Fassbender Snowman movie.
Yeah. Also, there's just some nice pictures of him just making snowmen with his family.
Oh my gosh! What is this?
This is like a bomb of a movie that I always meant to see because I think in interviews there was something where like, I'm so sorry, I'm misappropriating this quote without reading up again, but it was like the director like. After they shot the film and the reviews for it were so bad, was like, oh, I guess we just kind of missed some pages in the script. So there's like, that's why scenes are missing. And like, it was like, that was the explanation for it. I've always wanted to see this mess of a movie.
There's so much blue filter. Oh my goodness. That's a lot. That's a lot of blue filter.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's very blue. It's incredibly blue.
Look at that little sad
It's
snowman.
the saddest thing I've ever seen.
That might be a person's body in that snowman. That might be.
You think so? He's hiding people in the snowman to like preserve them? Oh, uses snowman as his calling card. Okay, soon the first snow will fall and the hunt for a killer begins. I feel like it would be easier to track killers in a snow because of like
the footprints
and stuff.
Yeah, I would think so.
Well, and because cold is so... It's like, it makes it so difficult to maneuver. Like, you run out of breath, you run out of energy.
Your little fingers get all, like, hard to use and stuff like that.
Your little fingies get all... Yeah, and then it's like, then you just look for a person in, like, a blood-stained parka.
Well, also at that point, all you gotta do is you just gotta round up all the suspects and be like, you have to make a snowman now. And then, like, handwriting analysis, you can be like, that's the guy. That's snowman right there. That's the work.
That's what I never understand. Is just like you have to make a snowman. Okay, you have to like the episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine where they're like, okay, sing. I'm like, why would you sing anything like you sang?
Right. Just
during that. Why would you make a snowman anything like you making a snowman?
Well, you know what? Because in this movie, I believe that Fassbender is he's an artiste. And he cannot sacrifice his art for anything.
I think that's Fassbender in general.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know?
Can I just add this quote just for clarification? For the sake of
Please,
accuracy. Found this on the Wikipedia for the Snowman. This was the quote I was trying to remember.
Okay.
In response to the negative... Also, if anyone's listening to this podcast has seen this movie, please write in. Goosebuds@gmail.com.
Please let us know.
In response to the negative critical reviews, Alfredson, the director, blamed the heavily condensed pre-production and rushed filming schedule in which 10 to 15% of the screenplay remained unfilmed. This led to narrative problems when editing commenced. Now, that happens all the time. I totally buy it. This would be just editorial adding that. Like, that happens. You cut scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he phrased it is this quote. Our shoot time in Norway was way too short. We didn't get the whole story with us. And when we started cutting, we discovered that a lot of it was missing. It's like when you're making a big jigsaw puzzle and a few pieces are missing, so you don't see the whole picture. So they had trouble in editing because they just didn't shoot some of the scenes, which is like, I can't wait to see this film.
Do you think this is like...
I've been wanting to...
It's like that 30 Rock bit about the werewolf movie they shoot up in... Where they shoot it? They shoot it in like Norway or something.
They have 10
seconds of daylight, yeah.
It's totally that. Totally. Why were we talking about this? I'm sorry.
Sorcerers. We were trying to...
we were talking about why would you ever go up to the top of a mountain
to see a dam?
Because there's a snowman up there.
I guess just out of pure curiosity.
If Michael Fassbender made it, I would go there to see it.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, if you just told me Fassbender's at the top of a mountain, it's like, I would love to ask you about your process of being Magneto. I would like to talk to you.
So, Michael Fassbender, the actor, or Michael Fassbender as the serial killer in that movie?
I'll kind of take any Fassbender. I think I'll take I'll even take a
murderous Fassbender,
Inglourious Bastards Fassbender.
Oh, I don't like that
Who
Fassbender.
does he play in
What?
Inglourious?
He's a good guy in Inglourious Bastards. He's like one of the guys.
Oh, he's
in
a spy.
The bar.
He's a spy.
room
That's right.
scene.
That's right. Okay, good. Okay.
And he counts with the wrong fingers.
Oh, he's the English spy.
Yeah, he's
English
posing as a
Yeah.
Nazi. You said it, and instantly I was like, I think he's a Nazi in that chat. I don't not.
Actually, I think that's how you. I think that's how you count to 3 in both German and sign language.
Yes.
Because the other 3 is the W.
Yes.
Oh, smart. See, look, he just really transforms. He becomes any of these actors, including a guy who builds snowmen,
Kills
maybe, or
people and
investigates snowmen.
puts them in snowmen.
So
he's the sorcerer.
This mountain has
Okay.
sorcerers, is what we find out. I think the lead into it is really that Jacqueline decides to go up there. You're right, Paul. It's that American moxie. I don't need to wear a mask if I don't want to, and I'll go up to the top of a mountain if I don't need to.
Exactly that kind of ignorance, yes.
Yeah, and her friends Eli and Rolanda basically just kind of stall Conrad. Like, they go up to Conrad and run down the mountain to buy him time.
And that,
time.
to TK's point, is entirely their purpose in this book. That is essentially what they were put there for, is to act as a distraction.
Yeah, I'm just like, what? A dog could have done this.
Yeah, she could have thrown a rock down the mountain and Conrad would have gone after it, probably.
Right.
Conrad's dog could have done this.
Yeah, she could have befriended Wolfbane and been
Oh,
good.
that would have been a way better payoff.
Right.
Oh,
So they find out about so she goes and sneaks by.
The dog is the snowman.
Anybody could have been the snowman at this point. It was so what a mystery.
It could have been a winter werewolf. Oh my god!
It could have been anything that was cool. It could have been anything that was cooler than a
losing
snowman.
it.
Although there is a cool-ish monster at the end of this, right? Like, sort of.
Sure, yeah. Someone's other like D&D campaign just came into the end of this book, I think.
Yes. So, like, does she discover about the sorcerers before she goes up to the mountain, or does she discover that when she's up there?
It kind of all blend together.
I
in my
can't
brain.
remember, but I remember someone telling her that the sorcerers were just screwing around.
Oh no, I think Aunt Greta tells her that there were. Greta basically lies to Jacqueline like 10 different times about why they're there. Either don't listen or ignore it or don't worry about it. And then at one point she's like, "Okay, listen, there were sorcerers and they made an evil snowman. Okay, and everyone chased the snowman up to the hill. Just don't go up there. We don't know what happened to the sorcerers." Don't at all think about how the fact that you have 2 missing parents and 2 missing other characters in this book.
And you explicitly said that you haven't seen your dad in the first 2 paragraphs of this book.
Yeah. There were 2 sorcerers.
Never mind all the foreshadowing
Never
that
mind.
proves that your mom fucked us.
I actually thought they might have gone for the, not necessarily dumber, but like still another doesn't make sense version of, I thought they were going to do a thing where like Greta and Conrad were somehow the 2 sorcerers. Only because they kept talking about them both having like old white hair and like there were secrets and the Greta had come here before and I thought that was going to be kind of the twist, and it's not too far off.
No.
Yeah.
TK, you were 100% right though, because I definitely wrote "fucked a snowman" as the second note in my notes.
Right?
I just saw
and it's like, even though we realize that like the snowman's kind of not really her dad, it doesn't really matter because the snowman definitely is probably her dad.
Okay, yeah, so let's get to the point. Let's get to the talking to the snowman.
Yeah,
right?
she sneaks past Conrad with the help of her 2 friends who were only there to help her, and she has a nice little adventure getting up the mountain. She goes up a circuitous path, and the cliff starts to get all shallow, and she has to push herself up against it. And she's like, "I'm gonna see this fucking snowman. If it kills me, I will go see this snowman.
I'm gonna do it."
She's gonna do it, and she gets into the little cave, the beautiful cave made of pure crystalline ice,
just like Frozen. I was picturing just like Frozen the whole time.
And she gets in there, and she meets the snowman.
And
Chad, if you want to take it.
Yeah, there's just something about the snowman of like a obvious cliffhanger of, oh, I was scared, and then she falls off a cliff, but then it's fine because she just climbs back up, so it wasn't really a cliffhanger. And it kind of stepped on the reveal of the snowman. The snowman, what voice did you guys hear in your head when the snowman talked? Because I heard Ray Barone. From Everybody Loves Raymond.
H. John Benjamin.
I heard Danny DeVito.
Danny
DeVito would also have been great.
I'm not kidding. I was just like, hey.
Well, it's just
or
this...
Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice.
Now that I like, that's a great one because then it's Michael Keaton who also played a snowman.
Yeah. Oh my God, I
wait.
forgot about
he
that.
is Jack Frost, right?
Yeah,
He's in the
I
movie
forgot
where like
about
you
that.
die and you have to win your child's love back as a snowman,
Yeah.
right? That is that movie. Okay,
That's
Jesus
the perfect.
Christ,
Christ.
That's the
Perfect.
perfect casting. Yeah,
Michael Keaton is great at playing bad dads.
he really is. Except for Mr. Mom, where he's a great dad.
Well,
Or is he bad? No, he's bad in that, right?
yeah, I think it's bad because he calls it Mr. Mom, right?
Well, that's definitely
so it's kind of like
Oh.
That's
it's like a dad could just do this.
Yeah, Mr. Dad. It's just Mr. Dad, Michael.
All I remember is holding the child up to the air dryer, which is probably really
Oh.
dangerous.
Maybe a bad dad, maybe a good dad, but a bad man.
Yes,
like a bad
yes,
person.
yeah.
Holy shit, TK, that's a hell of a log line for a movie, by the way. That is
Yeah.
like, whether it's for Mr. Mom or anything else, maybe a bad, or is it maybe a good dad, but a bad man is a really fucking good
Yeah.
log line. I like that a lot.
Fucking at me, Michael Keaton.
Dude, dude, put that on this book. Put that as a tagline for this book.
Oh yeah, what is? I bet it's like you'll get chilled. Let's find
He's
out.
got a heart of cold, is what it is.
Yeah, so he's got a heart of cold, and I was like, does he have a
Sure.
heart? Does that play into
He's
this?
got
Yeah,
well,
sure.
if he's got a penis, he's got a heart. I think.
Right, because you need to be able to push the snow blood down to the
Mhm.
snow penis. Right, yeah.
Mhm.
I follow that line, Paul. I follow that
Well,
logic.
and it's magic, so
Yeah, of course. Well, so this Danny DeVito, Ray Barone Snowman talk like, "Who are you? Who are you?" just over and over. And it's not until she goes like Jacqueline DeForest,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, "Say it again, Jacqueline DeForest." Doesn't mean anything to him, but it's treated as if that's going to be a big reveal.
Right.
And then, do you know who I am? I am your father. Exactly like Darth Vader.
Mhm.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and she says, "No, that's impossible." After it as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. With her bloody stump hand.
Mhm.
Just
Yes.
Oh
she
my
does
God.
yell no. She does.
She
yell
says
no
that's
just
impossible
like,
too.
oh, she does.
because I did not read the book, I was with you until the bloody stump hand. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that all happens in it except for the
Yep.
bloody stump.
Okay, that's good because I would have looked very silly. Like a fool.
His story is insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's that his version of it is, I am your father.
Yeah.
Your mom's a sorceress. I'm reading it from the book. So is your aunt. Your aunt practices all sorts of magic.
Mhm.
And for something about it, the fact that his arms went up as if pleading. It was like he's no longer being threatening. He's just a talking snowman at this point.
With a scar? Doesn't he have a scar?
Yeah, he has this cool scar.
Yeah, but I still don't know what that means to have a scar as a snowman. Like he has a dent?
I also, yeah, and it looks like a dent in the picture to the point where I'm like, how do you know this is a scar? Also, where the fuck are these kids getting all these fucking scarves?
I thought about that too. Because she just whips
Scarves
out
Scarves are fucking expensive.
Rolanda just whips one out of her like back pocket at some point, and
And they're just throwing them on fucking snowmen for no reason?
Yeah. Well, maybe. Oh, how about this? Sherpia's export is scarves. They have like a bunch of Etsy stores of handmade scarves that they send out across the globe.
They got Etsy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
and
what's going
that's their economy, what it's based around.
I mean, it would have to be at that point. Well, they have a mailbox, so there's a mailbox in the picture, so they have mail,
they can
right?
ship. They can ship out.
I think there's a post office or something.
Yeah, so it's not. What the thing is they have mailboxes. So not only is there a post office where they would typically go all to get their mail, but there is a postal delivery service.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The snowman has a tough life. That mailman has a tough
What is
gig here in Sherpia.
happening? Like that, it's hard to like figure out what.
A little girl was able to walk across this entire village within probably like an hour. So I think the mail stuff is a little redundant here. You can just take the package wherever you need to take it in Sherpia.
That's very true. That's
Yeah.
very, very true. No, the logistics of of this infrastructure is very confusing.
Mhm.
I am titillated.
I just wanted to continue the story the father snowman makes is that your mother turned me into a snowman when you were 2,
Mm-hmm.
and she couldn't do it. She couldn't turn me back, so it was an accident.
Yeah.
But she and your Aunt Greta ran away from the village.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jacqueline's like, your story doesn't make any sense. And I think the snowman's like, yeah, you're right. So she's come now. Your aunt has come back to put the spell back on me.
Yeah.
Which makes no logical sense with what he just said. And Jacqueline is like stunned by that, right? She's like, I don't know what's real. Yeah, you say my aunt is a magic woman. And then Paul or TK using the wiki, like what happens next is basically Aunt Greta shows up, right?
Yeah.
Who says that's all a lie. It's just people making up story. It's like that scene where there's like two twins, like shoot
it's
me.
Definitely, yes, it's definitely that kind of vibe. The best part is that Aunt Greta shows up and she's like, I was trying to scare you into not coming up here. But every single time that Jacqueline brought up the top of the mountain, she's like, that's all bullshit, Jacqueline. No, but there's no snowman up there. She did the opposite of trying to scare her. She tried to make her skeptical. And I think she was trying maybe some reverse psychology. Didn't work out. Aunt Greta kind of blew it there.
You're right. If you had trusted in her with information, like Conrad was at least like, don't come up this mountain.
Yeah.
But
I just think Aunt Greta ruined her credibility in this moment. When in this clone situation, she really ruined her credibility.
Right. Which I loved the next part where like when she goes, your father, that's a lie, a horrible lie. Just the Snowman going, no.
Yeah.
Like he just over and over again, just like arguing the petty, like they're not fighting to the death. No one's casting a spell. The Snowman doesn't really count as a threat. It's just two people arguing in a blizzard.
Yes.
It's kind of a fascinating scene.
Now, TK, you didn't get to this part, right?
No, I definitely got to this part.
Okay. So you got to this part where you have the best fight over a book that probably takes, what, like 2 chapters?
Oh, God, this fucking
I was just like, I was like, why?
Why are we fighting over a book?
Why any of this? Like, because Aunt Greta's just why do you need a copy? First of all, why do you need a copy of a 2-stanza poem?
A spell that you were pretty sure you were going to make for the entirety of your trip here, right? Like, she planned her flight to Sherpia going, all right, remember the lyrics, have this
There's
correctly.
8 lines.
So
There's 8 lines. I have to remember all 8 lines. I'm glad I have the book.
Not only that, this seems like an issue that could be solved over a long weekend.
Yes. Yeah.
Why'd you buy a whole ass house?
Yeah.
And
hold on, what was Aunt Greta doing there?
So I think she said, wait, all right.
Is she legitimately putting the spell back onto...
Yeah, because it only lasts for 10 years, so she came back to redo it.
Yeah, you know what?
She's here to renew it. She's here to re-up the spell. Yeah.
I'm like, why the fuck you need a 12-year-old for that?
Yeah, do
why
that.
You need a whole ass house.
Leave the kid in Chicago. She's got a budding career in basketball.
You mean, sublease the place in Sherpia at the very least.
Yeah.
I'm like, why did you even buy? Like, this is a long weekend. Like, why she move here? And you're gonna make her go to school here and shit?
I still don't know if there was a school. I still think these kids might just like lose an education.
I'm just like, why did you move here? Why didn't you say something like, oh, like this could have been a thing where Jacqueline was like, oh, I can't believe I'm missing Memorial Day weekend with my friends or something.
Right. I should be at the beach right now. Right.
Who leaves the country during July 4th weekend? You know?
The Bulls are about to play the Jazz for the final, like the playoffs, and I would really like to be in Chicago for it.
Yeah.
God damn it, Aunt Greta, why'd you take me away?
But instead, they moved to a village in the Arctic Circle. Why? This is like something that you could have solved over a fucking Labor Day.
I'm not sure why they left in the first place now upon retrospect.
Yeah, like I'm not a sorcerer or anything, but couldn't you do like a Zoom call or something?
have Rolanda take an iPad up with 3G up there to the mountain and just say the Zoom spell.
Conrad's the fucking sorcerer, like fucking pull up Facebook Live, just be like, "Hey, yo, what's up?"
Never mind, guys. This book stinks. Never mind. I'm not standing by it anymore.
No, I want to talk about the scene you mentioned, Paul. This fight over the book. So it's that Greta has now the poem book that Jacqueline has been suddenly kind of mentally recalling.
She can't remember the second verse.
Mother Goose rhymes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she can't remember the second verse, but she is now convinced that is the spell. The rest of the spell. Greta's like, "Hey, what's up? I have it." But they fight over the book. Right, the page is like it's like a tennis match. The page is ripped out, thrown over the mountain. A gust of wind brings it back.
Yeah, a Walt Disney-esque wind carries it back to her hand.
I was gonna say an American Beauty-esque bag in the wind type page flies back up to Jacqueline, where she reads, "When the snows melt and the warm sun is with thee, beware, the snowman, for the snowman shall go free." And this point is really tough for me because Jacqueline has the page, and presented with like two pretty bad lies. I mean, the snowman's one's way worse. She goes, "The only way I'll know the truth is to say the spell." I don't know. Ask some questions. Put them in different parts of the room and ask them questions that they can't contradict from each other. Seems pretty simple.
Yeah, a little deduction would go a long way here.
You know, it seems real simple is just minding your own fucking business.
Damn.
Stay out of it,
that's
Jacqueline.
right, TK.
Just like fucking who gives a fuck about some fucking snowman? Like boot up Xbox Live and fucking it's like
get a pickup basketball game going or something, you know?
Oh my god.
Oh, play the snowman for his soul.
It's it's ridiculous because like I know what it is, isn't it? And it's a subversion of expectations where in fact in most snowman stories, it's melting the snowman that actually proves to be your salvation.
Sure.
But in this case, the warmth actually endangers you more. And so that's like it's a horror, a subversion of expectations. You'll be like, what a twist! Probably so that like finding out that her dad is Conrad doesn't feel so...
So lame, as it is.
Yeah.
Well, then, she frees the monster from the snowman, which turns out to be like a tongue beast or something, some sort of gross.
Yeah, the description for it was so different than the genre I was expecting.
Yeah.
Because this is the truth. Yeah, the truth is the sorcerer, your parents, made a monster and went, oopsie, so we'll just pack snow on top of him as if we're like putting newspaper down on a spill. Is how I read that entire thing.
Yeah. That's essentially what they did.
And that imprisons him up there, I guess, because of the cold, even though it said that people in town were like worried that the snowman would come down and like mess up the place.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was holding this monster back, really, other than it looking like a snowman. Maybe it was embarrassed or something.
Maybe. That might have been what it was.
That's about all I can...
I want to try to find a description of this monster, because like you said, Paul, it's like red tongue. Oh my god, this fucking monster.
It was it sounded lecherous and gross. I didn't like it.
It sounded like a Diablo 2 like low-level grunt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it gets punked pretty hard. It gets its ass beat by a bunch of snowmen pretty easily. So I would say, probably a low-level Diablo 2 minion.
I was just thinking about like the cover and how good it could be if it were like this, like a close-up, but from like a slight tilt above, like a bird's eye view close-up of like the snowman's face, and like it's stick hands touching his face, and like the snow like melting in like these big red rivulets down its face or something.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's red underneath the snow. How fucking scary would that be?
That's terrifying.
That would be awesome. But it's the snow melting. It's not blood.
Right.
Blood on the cover.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's the description, by the way. I did just find it on in the last 10 pages of the book. You see what the monster is. A monster, a ugly, snarling, red-skinned monster. Its head and body were covered with crusty red scales. Its yellow eyes rolled wildly in its bull-shaped head. A purple tongue flapped from its jagged tooth mouth. So it's kind of a devil. It's kind of just a devil.
Yeah.
An impish devil, yeah.
And actually, like, the cadence of the way that it's actually described, its head and body were covered with crusty red scales. Its yellow eyes rolled wildly in its bull-shaped head. It's so similar to where the wild things are.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I hadn't made that connection.
Yeah, it's so in like that immediately put an idea of like where because their eyes roll back and forth in their head, and they snarl with their jagged teeth, and it's like it's such like a where the wild things are kind of cadence.
Yeah,
to me.
definitely. It's it's creepy sounding, and she unleashes this terror upon the earth by stupidly reading the poem.
What a fucking... Wait.
Go ahead.
Why did they keep the poem if the poem could...
TK, there's so many questions at the end of this book.
Yeah, I also thought this was like a Random House published poem. I was very confused by it.
Right.
Why? Wait, so what was the spell to keep him from melting?
Yeah, it wasn't the poem that they read.
Oh.
So they had to have...
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, so like what's the...
In Greta's defense, maybe the rest of the book was all of the things she had to say to keep it as a snowman.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
Yeah.
Please stay in the fucking snowman. Thank you.
Nice job. Nice job. Oh my god.
Yeah, bring it home, Aunt Greta. All the other beatniks,
the snap.
Sorcerer beatniks.
Wolfbane is snapping over there, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Aunt Greta is a sorceress or isn't a sorceress? Because I know that she tries to throw the piece of paper off the cliff. Y'all ain't got a fucking fireplace?
Gonna burn the again. I don't know that her like planning is very, very good because like you said, this could have been a weekend. Also, could have burnt the book. That could bring this thing back to life.
Yeah, because it's like I know the snowman told Jacqueline that the aunt is a sorceress, but I think we could also assume that he was lying.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because, like, later, Aunt Greta had told the truth. A monster was trapped inside the snowman, not my father, which is implied from the snowman because the snowman's a liar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, now I don't know if we can even trust that Aunt Greta knows how to do the spell.
Right. Who do we even believe here?
Oh,
so
yeah.
So if she can't even do the fucking spell...
I took Greta as... You're right, yeah, she should be able to do it again, unless it's like she's a lower level where she can only do the patch job and she can't do the full job. You know what I mean? She's like, I can patch up your wall, but I couldn't build a wall.
Yeah, she's a sorcerer's apprentice. She doesn't have the cool cap yet. Right.
Sure. That maybe would logically work, I guess.
Because this is the thing, is like... Okay, so Aunt Greta is throwing away this magic spell poem, but presumably she has other spells. Did she actually show up to help with this magic spell or something? Or did we just move here for no fucking reason?
Okay, so this whole thing falls apart if you start asking questions at the end, because after she I guess, she releases the monster and they're about to be destroyed, they see snowmen. A horde of snowmen, all the snowmen from the town, running up the mountain, and we think, oh no, the tongue monster summoned his snowmen buddies, and they're gonna come and they're gonna finish him off. And they get surrounded, and the snowmen go right past Greta and Jacqueline, and they go right after the monster. They jam him into the wall, they freeze him there, and then they chill, and they're just hanging out, watching. And Conrad shows up, right?
They push him and they push him so hard that he just goes into ice.
Yeah, they re-ice him, and then we find out that Conrad, is Jacqueline's dad. He's one of the sorcerers. He's been hanging out in the mountain to protect them from the monster up in the cave. But again, you ask another question here, and you go, if he was able to just go and like whoop this thing's ass in like 2 seconds, what was holding him back this entire time? Why didn't he just go up there, roll up with his snowman crew? and just lay the beating down on this monster, and then go find his daughter that he abandoned.
Maybe
10
Conrad was just like meaning to get to it, right? It's like a project in the front of the yard. You ever have those where it's just like,
right.
I'll dig up that rock, and I'll replant the rose bed, but like,
oh my god,
at some point.
Yeah, right.
But now that these kids,
I understand that the tub's not really holding water right now, and I do need to call a plumber for it, but I see how I could probably do this myself, and like it'll take like 3 hours top, and then like 8 years later.
And then you've lived with it for 8 years, right?
Yeah, and now that your aunt, your sister-in-law has like just shown up and telling you, like, yeah, guy, fine, I'll do the snowman spell. Let's get fine, take care of it. I can watch the game later, and he's watching the Bulls game on TV. Like he's.
He was gonna leave that weekend specifically to fly down to the Bulls game, and she showed up, and he's like, "But I got ticket." There's ringside for me and Wolfbane. She's like, your daughter is here. And he's like, but Wolfbane.
But Wolfbane loves to run. But yeah, they kind of just cross over where Conrad's like, it's a kind of a long story. Your mother and I were messing around. She maybe bonked a snowman, and we created this monster.
No,
and
your mother didn't fuck a snowman. We fucked a snowman.
We did it together. Yeah, your mother and I are swingers, by the way, with Eldritch Beans.
but only with Eldritch Snowman.
Yeah, magic swingers.
Yes. But then they don't answer what happened to the mom. I thought that was kind of fascinating. It was just like,
true, yeah.
Your mom got upset. She wanted to move away. And I stayed because I owed it to the village. And then you don't talk about, like, did you miss her? Do you still love her?
Yeah.
Is she dead somewhere? I guess she said she's dead.
It's just wild to me. There's like, oh, and then she decided to move away and then died 5 years later. We don't know why. She just got sick and died. Ha 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 ha. I'm like, yeah, she's a fucking sorceress. Right. She couldn't bibbity bobbity.
Get that sickness out of my body? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of the end of the book, is just that reveal, and then the RL joke setup of like, oh man, what's great, but what about all these snowmen? And my god, hey, it's cold up here, can we go back down? That's it.
That's the big, because here's the thing, usually the last line, right, is reserved for the ultimate twist, the ultimate RL twist. Yeah. But this time he gave us the double twist, and he's like, I'm not going to triple twist, I'm just going to finish it off with a classic Stein zinger and be out.
Yep. Snowmen are cold. That's the comic strip that's in your Sunday paper.
That's the Far Side comic strip for this book. Yeah.
Oh, don't even do Gary Larson like that.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to belittle it, but you know,
it's a close to home, if anything, than a Far Side.
Okay, but so when I read the last part, because of course I read the last chapter just to feel like I really got something done. I know it's weird, but because I didn't read anything in the middle, I have no idea whether or not there are other adults in this town.
No, are there?
Not really.
I don't know if there are.
And because of that, I assumed that the snowmen had been made from
okay,
other people.
TK, that's cool. A great point. The snowmen, right? All these snowmen are laying around, and there's a fake out where a snowman's head gets knocked off, right? And there's a moment right there, right? We're dealing with some spooky snowman stuff going on. All right, the head of the snowman gets knocked off. These things are totems, right, that are supposed to ward off the evil snowman at the top of the mountain. Have the family that lives in that house disappear. Have a spooky happening around it, right?
So this is my thing. This was my theory, because I didn't read the fucking was that these kids were being bewitched into making these snowmen for Conrad, and that these snowmen were essentially his eyes. And so these kids were being bewitched into it and stuff, because he could kind of talk to the kids whenever he wanted. Right. He's like, Eli and Rolanda told me that you needed help, and it's fucking when?
Yeah, they
how?
I like that. I like he beguiled them with.
They whispered it into the fucking Eldritch Snowmen that they made out of their dead parents.
That's great. Book fixed.
That's what I'm here for.
For sure.
That's what I'm here for, to fix R.L. Stein's.
One of our favorite things to do on the show is try to fix the book, and you just did it.
Yeah, fucking at me, R.L. Stein.
TK, I want to ask you too, coming back to Goosebumps for this book, even the wiki of it. Did it kind of surprise you? Was there anything you were expecting that you didn't get, or stuff that, I don't know, I'm kind of forcing you to walk down a nostalgic road for a moment to see if this.
I think that I can definitely tell that Goosebumps was what made me really appreciate present tense point of view. Unfortunately, the version of the book that I got jumped between present and past tense. So it's just okay, so these two lines. Aunt Greta's normally pale cheeks were red from the cold. She isn't very old, but she has had white hair for as long as I can remember. She wears it long, always tied behind her head in a single braid that falls nearly all the way down her back. And then all of this, I don't look like, I have this, I am this, I like this.
Mhm.
I'm going to need someone to talk to, I thought, sadly. We had left Chicago, only left yesterday, but I already missed my friends.
Mhm.
And I'm like, huh.
You gotta remember, and this is really important to understand, that these books are being written stream of consciousness from the first draft. This is
100%. Like, I can see the live journal timestamps at the bottom of these pages.
listening to Panic at the Disco. Write this chapter.
Yeah, one of these still has like the screenshot frame from where they typed it in the word. I say they as though it's not R.L. Stein. I'm sure it is.
We know it's a team.
Where
We know
R.L.
it's a
Stein
team.
like types it in the text pad on the phone and just like send to agent. Cha-ching!
Forward me my next check, please.
What am I writing this next month about a scary sand spider? I'm there. I can do something with that.
Oh, for sure. And for the longest time, Goosebump books were coming out monthly.
Monthly, yeah.
Hit it. And I was just like, ha! But this is just one of those ones where it's like, I think I realized very quickly I am no longer the audience for this book. Number one, I don't find children endearing. I'm not going to care about. I don't, and I
That's
don't know.
fair.
Like, that's probably like I'm missing some kind of like. I never want a child to actually come to harm or anything like that. But I'm not going to care about a main character just because they're a fucking kid.
Right.
You play clown games. You win some clown prizes. Like, you walk into a serial killer's house. That's where he lives.
Yeah.
Like,
when the dude's wolf jumps on your face and starts raking you, that's what you get for breaking and entering, Jacqueline.
Don't break into a person's house. What the fuck? Like you swim in the ocean and a shark bites you. That's where a fucking shark lives.
You're in the shark's house. Yes.
Get out of his house.
You went to the Snowman mountain. You're gonna get thrown off a mountain by a snowman.
By a snowman, a devil snowman, after everybody in the fucking town. So fucking, see, this is what I'm talking about. These fucking privileged ass white girls. Everybody in the fucking town's telling her not to go to the top of the fucking mountain. And she's all like, I go where I want. Bitch, what the fuck?
You just got here yesterday, Jacqueline.
You've been in this town for 5 fucking minutes. Who the fuck are you? It kills me. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, if I tried any of those things at this child's age, I would first of all be dead because I was very brown. But also, you don't have brown kids fucking around in a horror book for very long. That's for sure. But, like, it's just also things like, she's fucking insufferable. I was like, am I supposed to be rooting for her?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I get it. She's, like, rebellious teenager. And all of it's written in, like, the rebellious teenager dialect. And that's how I could tell it's not written for me. Because there's, like, phrases where it's, like, weird. My aunt says that I should have a bigger vocabulary. Or, like, this passage where she's like, the little square houses along the road didn't look real to me. They looked as though they were made of gingerbread.
Mm-hmm.
As if I had the new sentence, new paragraph. As if I had stepped into some kind of fairy tale. New paragraph. Except it wasn't a fairy tale. It was my life. New paragraph.
Oh, I love
my
this.
totally weird life. New paragraph. I mean, why did we have to move from the United States to this tiny frozen mountain village? And I'm just like, exhausted.
Thank you for giving us that writer tear down there. I love that.
I was just like, it's just not for me. If I were 11 or 12 years old, I would eat this shit up, even though I'd be like a fucking snowman.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be like, let's go snowboarding or something, right? Like, let's go like sledding, and then maybe we'll run into a snowman. But
yeah, but it's like, also, this book was written in 2003, released in like 2006. It's like at 2006, I was 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
October 2006 when this was released. This would have been out of touch for me as a 13-year-old.
That can't be
2006.
2006?
Yeah.
I think
that can't be right.
I think this was re-released in 2006. The original apparently is from 1997, which is why.
Oh, for real?
That's why.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, reprint.
That's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay because that's why I was like, again, she got pulled out of Chicago during the prime Chicago.
Oh,
Bulls
yeah,
time.
yeah.
And
I'm sorry, 1997. Even in 1997, I think I would have been like as a 13-year-old picking up this book, I think I would have been like 1997. Like
you were Fear Streeting at that point.
Columbine already happened and things like that. Like there's scarier things than snowmen.
Right. I'm ready to fight a snowman if I need to. Yeah,
it's like because in 1997 I was already doing like school shooter drills and stuff because like Columbine and stuff like that. So it's like really. Yes.
A snowman.
Well, that's why you upgraded to Fear Street, TK, because you're tougher stuff, you know.
I don't know about that. I just think that this book was like a little out of touch is all.
Oh.
Just like a little.
They're all out of touch. They're all out of touch.
He's got a heart of cold.
Dude, starting off with that level of pun. Oh boy, RL.
Oh, buddy.
We'd like to talk about how like there's like a scale of like piece of shitness for like the kids in these books, and she's definitely she's reaching like pinnacle piece of shit, Jacqueline.
Yeah, she's kind of coming into another culture and another civilization and just kind of like shitting on all of it. So I'd put her down on the lower tier of poop people.
Yeah, she's being a real Tiffany about it, if you know what I mean. A real Ashley.
I think we've kind of nailed this book, y'all. Unless you have anything else you want to say or any grievances you want to get off your chest.
Don't fuck a snowman.
That's what started this all. Don't fuck a snowman.
Don't fuck a snowman.
Yeah. Don't make a snowman to fuck, and don't fuck a snowman that you find somewhere else, especially.
Yeah, you fucking weirdos.
TK, thank you for being on the Goosebuds.
Yes, thank you very much, TK. It was a blast.
It was my pleasure. It was a delight.
Obviously, if you are just discovering the wonderful TK, you can check out her amazing DM series that just wrapped up. TK, I should let you talk about Tales from the Mist, though, right?
Yeah, tell people what you do.
Yeah. So we just wrapped Tales from the Mist, but right now I am the dungeon master for Indoor Recess. We're doing Mythic Odysseys of Theros, which is it's a ancient Greek or classical Greek themed fantasy world. Our storyline follows 4 young heroes as they join a hero academy and try to become champions of Theros, a la Disney's Hercules or My Hero Academia. So,
I love both of those things. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very fun. 2 of my players really love My Hero Academia, so I'm excited to lean in even more.
Beautiful.
It's a very late night program from 8:00 p.m. Pacific time to 11 p.m. Pacific time, which is 11 p.m. to 2 a.m.
You
for
stay
me.
up late, jeez.
Yeah, but it's got all the cussing and naughty late night Dungeons and Dragons that you could possibly desire.
A lot of after dark talk.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. We talk about all kinds of grown-up things like what your favorite Ninja Turtle was, your favorite pie. Sometimes we play Dungeons and Dragons on time. Rarely ever. I stream more with Indoor Recess on the Indoor Recess Twitch channel, which is Indoor Recess Crew. And Saturday evenings at I want to say 8 p.m. Eastern time, I do Spooky Slumber Party with Katie May, and we play a spooky game like Alien Isolation, which we're playing right now, and then when I get too chicken shit to play it anymore, we play something soft like Stardew Valley.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Tika, did you say where you could find the first series, where you could watch that on Twitch or on YouTube?
I didn't. I fail at simple tasks. Twitch.tv/D&D.
Okay, it's on the D&D official channel, which I think also Tales from the Mist is all on the archive as well, right?
Yeah, you can find all of Tales from the Mist's episodes on the D&D YouTube channel.
Beautiful.
Very cool.
Beautiful.
I gotta say again, like I only got to do a couple guest episodes as reader in one of the last series, and you all were such an amazingly cool group to play with. You were very inviting. Everyone had these like fully thought out characters with this amazing backstory. It was very fun to get to come into like a deep, deep lore world and just be like, I'm a robot, beep boop. Like, it was so much. It was very fun to do. And TK, a fantastic DM. You should check out all of her stuff.
Oh, thank you. If you ever want to beep boop onto Theros, let me know.
I'm considering it. Yeah, I'm rewatching My Hero Academia right now, actually, just for fun and because it's quarantine and it's a very inspiring show. So I'm digging that energy.
It's so fun. Yeah, for sure.
Right on. Yeah, and also likewise, if you're listening to this podcast and you want more Goosebud stuff, you can go over to goosebudspod.com. All of our links are on there as well. If you want to get access to bonus episodes we do every month, our cool Discord with amazing people who are constantly sharing dope shit, you can go to patreon.com/goosebuds and support us there. And I think that's it, right, Paul? Is that our thing?
Yeah, I just want to sign off by saying, watch out for the snowman clap.
Watch out. It cold. It bite. It got some frostbite.
You don't want to get that snowman clap.
Keep it wrapped. Keep it warm. That sounds weird. I'm gonna leave it. I regret saying that.
Kevin, save him. And now, a reading from the Book of Names. We'd like to thank these Patreon supporters. First off, we're starting with Hollis Hornbeak,
Stefan, Jive Turkey Kuwabara,
Michael McDowell,
Cameron Murphy Audio,
Josh Robertson,
David Cron,
Nick Hinkle,
Nikki C,
Nathan Dolezal,
Fred Atkins,
Mike Lanteri,
Clayton C,
Ailcade,
Buddy Morrill,
Natu Pearl Henderson,
Mel Dipson,
Jared Mason,
Jim Greaves,
Zang Keith,
Joshua Lopez,
Danky McStanky,
Afshin,
Dango Twiss,
Jennifer Britton,
Aaron T. Strunk,
Victor,
Zenticles didn't start the fire, it was always burning since the world's been turning.
Brian Wells,
Becca McWilliams,
Stealth Bates,
Patrick Reynolds,
Joseph Miranda,
Robert Moon,
Scott Colopy,
Jason Crooker,
Third Sergio,
Jonas Blatterman,
John Keaty,
Miguel Pardo,
Clay Castle,
Kath,
Christina Doling,
Matthew, it came from fan mail,
Matt the Half-Court Warlock Bachelor,
Reinfected,
Stiggy,
Tyler Penner,
Maddie,
Gregory D. Warren,
Ishak Arafin,
Mikey Jello,
Alan Saylor,
Chosen One,
Sam Hash,
Paul Grasso,
Cody Redfield,
Joe, remember to save early and often, Scott,
Trans Rights,
Rich Hilborn,
Walter Frazier,
Aiden Alexander Dice,
Bradford Coulter,
Jin Kay,
Dylan Vaughn,
Justin Wagman,
Taylor Dierks,
Joshua Jacobwitz,
2 in the slink, 1 also in the slink, all 3 in the slink then.
Tommy got a tummy full of murder wasps, Hoey,
Ryan Shell,
the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation,
Cardboard Walk,
Trendy Moron,
Leviathan,
Rug,
Up and Champ,
Trent Davis,
Alicia Grafe,
Vincent Modica,
Connor Church,
Heath Robinson,
Luke Noodles,
Low Belly Hate Me,
Joe Gorman,
Carl,
Brock Graham,
Hugh Bolin, Zam Bambino, Blake Alvarez, Space Tiger,
Anthony Kuwabara,
Brooke X,
Moil Oyster,
Boney,
Elusive Koala,
Christian Vanskever,
Yanni Markovina,
Brian Hobgood,
Joe,
Zach Connor,
Corey Shelley,
Nathan Remick,
Jesus Christ,
Jordan Lockwood,
Jake Young,
Foolish for Deborah,
Jeremy Lowe,
Joe Spooky Digital Ghost, Tierney,
Anxious Serve,
Tom Whitham,
Devaldi,
Kevin Hamilton,
Valhalla Black,
Llama Consultant,
Patreon_donator, yo,
Carewise Gamgee,
Reed Stubendick,
Andrew Making Me So at Home, Jadzik,
Joey Evans,
Goose Time,
John the Howling Eye Duda,
Cameron Hansen,
Nicholas Johnson,
Elizabeth Steenweg,
Eric England,
Andrew Evans,
Lord Cornwallis,
Generally Depressing,
Swag Bumps Night at Camp Yellow Squire,
Just Garrett,
Mike Roch, haha, gotcha, it's actually Spencer. Oh, Spencer.
Goon Cahoots,
Cardamom Birkenbino,
Anthony from Let's Watch Something,
Daddy's Happy Apple Boy,
Dylan McCann,
Etonomore,
Snesh Chalmers. I said Snesh Chalmers, SNES Chalmers. I don't say that. I don't say Snes.
Yeah.
Dan.
Straightforward, non-funny name for Dom. I'm sure he appreciates it.
Chris Pittman,
Glenn,
Jacob the Rough Hand,
Buffcat,
Germ Juice,
Sean Minogue,
Jonas Enevoldsen,
Dylan Eads,
R.L. Slink,
Boss Garrettson,
Zach Bush,
Egg Baby,
Dr. Worm,
John Pigeon Hat Barber,
Stinklich,
Calamity Carl,
J.R. Chip,
Chip Handsome,
The Voyant, Claire,
Jared Nudie,
Alex Moon the Robot Dog,
Matt McKellen,
Sarah Kemp,
Nick Johnson.
Tanya Turtle,
Gonna interrupt you other two guys for a sec to plug my great new website, johns-story.com. Full disclosure, I looked up that URL. Looks like it's fan fiction about Halo, maybe? I don't know. Follow at your own risk. Also, check it out.
Adam Morocco,
Stephen Day,
Chili Dish Gambino,
Caden Franklin,
Bad Vibes Jr.,
Oze,
Brett,
Ryan Carroll,
Spencer Kimball,
Sadie Kitson,
S,
Jeremy Bowser,
Wacky Username,
Robert Edward Hodgson Jr.,
Manuel Aviles,
Megan McCormick Mason,
Adam You Goofed,
The Slink of Fate,
Juan Jalapena,
Ninja Bread Men, note the plural,
Jimmy Soul,
Hood Lemon,
Muscles Bear,
Mud Bark,
Matthew Stevens,
Cameron,
Jacob Foster,
Got Little Old Moi Pretty Freaked,
Milky Nug,
Parker Lee,
Dakota Campion,
Russell Gore,
Timothy Misodulakis,
Keith Halcrow,
Clay McCarthy,
Aogen,
Ashley W.,
Wesley,
Wade Norcross,
Chris, Keeper of the Mastosphere Nelson,
Stinkline the Goblin,
Nata S, saying backwards,
Taylor Shedden,
Wonderskin,
Ham_boat,
Nicholas Butler,
Kelly Sestaire,
Jordan Slamsy,
Raymond Hernandez,
Comfy System, The Venomous Viper,
The Crow Fens,
Maggins, Zach Carey, or Zach's Curry,
Cod Salmon,
Flemily,
Nicole Watkins,
Matthew Sutton, Jeffrey Owen Caughey,
Wolf Slore,
Who's Ryan? Who is Ryan? Who's Ryan? Kelsey Kinnamon,
Peanutberg.
Dylan Napier,
And we'd like to welcome these new patrons to the Book of Names,
welcome Kit,
Xavier Jimenez, Dr. Chocula,
and welcome new Patreon Rum Daddy.
Brendan Arafin,
Welcome new Patreon Robert Allen Cook III.
Chris Boutrakis,
Welcome Liam Neeson's Doe, and welcome Aislinn Jeline.
and the Shrekonomicon. Welcome to the Book of Names.
We love you all so very, very much. Everyone, please stay safe.